Good evening and welcome to tonight's show. I am your host, Tina Dawson, the owner of True Blue Designs, and it is an honor to be before you. Please like and share and let everyone know that we are on the air. We are streaming simultaneously on our Facebook page and on our YouTube channel at True Blue Designs. Before we get started tonight, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone that showed up and saw the videos and commented during the month of March. March, we celebrated 14 years of being in business, and the comedians from the Greek Comedy Tour stopped by every Wednesday of the month of March and shared their information and their journey to comedy. We also had Dr. Rhonda Lawson on, and she came on in March and talked about her being an author and publishing, being a self-publishing author. So I want to thank Dr. Lawson also for coming on during the month of March. So make sure, again, you like and share and let everyone know that we are on the air. Tonight, you are in for a treat, because I found out a little bit of tidbit that this interview has come at the right time, and you got to tune in, stay tuned in, so you'll know why I said that, because there's some good information. Now, some of you have seen my transition going from, I think May would be a year that I have been with my coach, and she has taught me so much about self-care and really putting you first, having a healthy life. Well, tonight's guest, one of tonight's guests, is a reoccurring, she's been on the show before in April of 2021. So her show was entitled The Road to Self-Discovery, and she is Katrina Owens. If you go on our YouTube channel at True Blue Designs, which way am I pointing? There you go. You would be able to type in her name and you would see her interview from 2 years ago. Well, there's a lot that has happened in this young lady's life in 2 years. And she has now entered into the world of bodybuilding. So bodybuilding is the process of developing one's muscles through weightlifting and other strength training exercises to compete in bodybuilding competitions. It's a sport that requires immense dedication, focus, and discipline. It is also one of the most effective ways to achieve a lean and muscular physique. Our first guest was previously on our show, like I said, on April 21st, 2021. And her interview gave us an inside look of her journey to self-discovery. Tonight, she is here to discuss her new journey to natural bodybuilding. Please help me give a warm welcome to tonight's guest, Miss Katrina Owens. Hey, Katrina.
Tina.
There you go. I had you on mute.
Oh, hey everybody. How y'all doing?
How you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Thank you so much for coming back on the show. Listen, I told you this before. We don't talk often, but believe me, somebody is always watching. And I have been watching your journey. Let me start off by saying, I am so proud of you, because the work that you did 2 years ago, or you talked about 2 years ago, was to me your springboard.
Yes.
To 2 years after that, and now look where you are. I am so excited for you.
Yes, it definitely was a springboard. I put that on that vision board. I said I want to get in the best shape of my life. Yes. And I am a living witness to that coming to fruition today.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, some viewers might not have seen the 2021 interview. So I'm going to let you start off by telling the viewers a little bit about yourself.
Okay, well, I was born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. And I obtained my bachelor's of science in marketing from Wilberforce University, and that is the oldest historically Black college owned and operated by us. In 1856 was the founding year. So that kind of put me on my career path to travel here to the Atlanta metro area. So I moved here, haven't looked back since. I've definitely raised my family here. I have two boys, an 8 and 13-year-old. They're both soccer players. I am a soccer coach.
Yeah.
I am very, very busy. I am also a proud member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. I am active member in Sigma Omicron Zeta chapter out here in Gwinnett County. So I am all over the place. So I'm very active. So that's just a little bit about me.
Right. So in 2021, when did you start you coined yourself as a term as a fitness enthusiast,
yes.
right? And so when I saw you in 2021, when you made the post, you were already working out.
Correct.
So let's talk about why do you believe in a healthy and active lifestyle?
Well, I believe in a healthy and active lifestyle because it is basically the key to your how youthful you feel and how you look. And I am Generation X, and I'm looking younger than most of these millennials out here. So it is my fountain of youth. So I believe in it. I stay active because once you become sedentary, like sitting down, you're going to feel just like that. And if you don't put the proper fuel in your body, you're going to feel like that as well.
Right. The proper fuel.
Yes.
That is so important. And, a lot of times, I've heard one time somebody was saying that you have to eat for your, eat according to your blood type, you know, or I guess that ties into being on medicine and not being on medicine, right?
Yes.
So, how important is it to fuel your body correctly?
Okay, so you mentioned something about Eat Right for Your Blood Type. I bought that book maybe, I want to say about 4 years ago.
Really?
And I read it and I was kind of like, oh, okay. Well, it says I'm gluten intolerant. I'm O negative, right? So I didn't really take it seriously.
Right.
But as you get older and you're still putting those things into your body, you start getting sick. So last year I battled with pneumonia. I battled with that for 4 months. Asthma was flaring up and everything. Took a trip to the asthma and allergy specialist, found out I'm allergic to all of that. I'm allergic to so much stuff. And guess what? When I read that in that book, I didn't pay it any attention. So if you're not eating right, you're going to feel it. You're going to have all these aches and pains. You're going to wonder why your body's producing all this mucus. I like to look at fuel and the proper nutrition like your body is a car, right? So if you're a sleek sports car or a luxury car and you know that you need premium gasoline to fuel your body, why are you sitting there putting that low grade fast food into your body? You know you're not going to operate at its peak performance. So I had to change my mindset of that. I definitely did. I had to give up all of the drinking that I was doing. I was drinking some good premium wines. I'm thinking that was premium. No, I had to give it up for a minute, right? And I feel so much better. Like I haven't had an asthma attack in over 6 or 7 months.
Wow.
And I definitely contribute that to me cleaning up my diet and putting the proper nutrients into my body.
And to do that, it takes one word, and that's discipline.
Discipline and planning.
And planning. And planning. Well, I'm glad that you mentioned planning because I want to talk about, I saw one of your posts about meal prepping. So let's talk about why meal prepping is so important, and you can discuss some of the benefits of meal prepping.
Okay, so first and foremost, meal prepping for me is I prepared it, so I know what's in it, right? So a lot of these different meal prep places, you don't know what they're putting in your food to preserve it, and a lot of those preservatives cause different types of reactions in your body, and you don't know what's in it. It can make you bloat. You just don't know. So with me meal prepping, I am prepping my meal according to what my coach is telling me that I can have. It is already measured out. I measure my meat. I measure out how much vegetables I'm supposed to have, and it's perfectly measured, and it's convenient. So all I have to do is in a nice little tray. I pop it in the microwave, and I'm gone. 9 times out of 10, if I'm on the field, guess what I'm doing? I have a tray and I'm sitting over in the corner eating, or I'm eating in the car. You have to plan. If I didn't do that, I would probably be in the fast food line, like ravenous hungry. I don't even get hungry anymore. It's called hangry. When I get hangry, it is not fun. It's just not. I'm telling you, it's a real thing. It's real.
You know, when I went to Boulay in July.
Oh yes, I heard about the stories. I heard it.
My coach did a whole. She did like some series on the way to properly prep.
Yes.
And so I did that. I went and had somebody to take me to the store. And so I went to a local Walmart. I got all my food because she sent me a list of what to get.
Yep.
And I got all my food, and then I have my times that I eat.
Yes.
And so people thought I was crazy, but when I tell you I had it down, I had it down. I was getting up in the morning, doing my workout. And then when we went to that first meeting, I had what I was supposed to have. Lunch, I went back to my room. I had my lunch in my room. I had so much food, though I was blessing other people, because I was like, hey, don't go out to lunch. I have food in the room because my daughter had with me. She eats meat, and I don't know, a pescatarian. Mm-hmm. And but it just, to me, when you meal prep, it saves you a lot of money.
Yes.
And it saves you a lot of time.
It does. It definitely does. It has saved me tons. I mean, to eat out with us three, it's averaging about 45 to 50 if we do like a fast food restaurant. Yeah. If we go and sit down, it's upwards of $100. So think about how you could save that. If you do that once a week, you could be spending that on something else, a vacation or something.
Right. That is so true. Exactly. I'm sorry, I had got thrown off a minute. There was one more question I had to ask you about this. Oh, when you started on your fitness journey and you started meal prepping and you realized what you should and should not eat according to your body, blood type, whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And the goals that you had set for you. Yeah. I'm sorry, I drew. You
was probably going to ask me how did
wrong, and I'm
like, are you thinking about how my meal prep changed from then to now?
No. I was going to ask you. I got it now, girl. I'm over 50, so that was a senior moment. Okay. So I was going to ask you: haven't you realized that you don't to live, to move, to live? Haven't you realized that it doesn't take as much food, and B, girl, I'm just having a black. But anyway, and the reason I'm asking this is because when my coach put me on a meal plan, it was some stuff that I was like, that don't go with that, and that don't go with that. Yes. But I end up, when she put me on eating, I think my meal is 7, 10, 12, 3, and 6. What I realized was that you don't need that much food, like the way we were raised in the African American community. You don't need that much food to really live. Right. And then we were eating so much. I mean, we had 3 scoops of mashed potatoes, and you probably only need a spoonful. But have you realized that? And then in realizing that, I'm sure that has saved time and money.
Yes, the measuring of it all, right? So like when you found out like what a half a cup was, like, or what 4 or 3 ounces was, it was like the palm of your hand, and you really realized that you were eating a whole chicken breast, which was like that's the size of your hand, and you eating all of that, right? You don't ate all of that. That's probably like 8 to 9 ounces of chicken. And you wonder why you feel uncomfortable, right? And we ignore that feeling of fullness, right? Because you don't want to waste no food. You're supposed to clean your plate, right? Isn't that how you were taught growing up? Generation X, I know I was. You better clean before you clean your plate. And your body is telling you that you are full. But we're going to keep on eating, which is expanding your stomach. And now you're gaining weight.
Right.
So
Right.
my meal plans now, it's like literally you get 4 ounces of this, I get a half a cup of this. And my carb portions were so small. I was like, but I'm used to a cup.
Right.
No, I'm like a fourth of a cup now, and I don't even want it now. When I did get the carb load, I was like, what am I gonna do with all these carbs? Oh Lord, my stomach can't take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I've noticed that when you get with a coach and you learn the proper way to eat and everything, what happens is, like you said, by the time 12 gets here, or 1, or whatever your next time to eat is, you're really not hungry. And so now my biggest issue is I'm not hungry. I know I have to eat because, it's my time to eat and I got what I'm supposed to eat, but I'm not hungry.
Yeah. No, I'm home every 2 to 3 hours. I'm up at 4 o'clock. Well, actually 3:30 now. So it's like I'm eating. It's every 2 to 3 hours. I'm eating some type of protein, and it's like clockwork.
So let's talk about what inspired you to get on this new journey and train to become a natural bodybuilder. Let's talk about that.
Okay, so there was 2 things, right? So there was 2 things. I've seen it before, and I was like, oh my God, I would like to add that to my portfolio. However, my kids were so small. The time that it takes to dedicate to that, I didn't think that I had the time, right? Mm-hmm. So I watched my coach, Genae, me and her go way back, right? So we ran with Black Girls Run. We played kickball together. We were on the same team. So when she stopped playing kickball, she decided to do bodybuilding. So I've been watching her transform her body from, hey, you know how you get that runner's body, like, oh my God, we're going to run for hours and hours, but you look like a bobblehead, so you don't really have any strength. Right. She has developed a powerhouse body, and I've watched her compete and win, and I've watched her develop her business model. So I was like, ooh, okay, let me check her out. So I decided to attend one of her shows, and she actually trained a mutual friend who was going to be competing. And once I went to that show, which was the Clash, the first year of the Clash last year, I went and she had me right there. I said, yep. I said, August, I'm going to sign up. And guess what I did? I enjoyed my summer. I went to the wine festivals and everything. And then when August came, I fully committed myself. And I said, I am going to do this. And I fully committed in August. All the wine, all the liquor out of my house, I totally gave it up since I didn't have not one drink since what, July?
So you're talking about last year.
Yeah, July last year.
Okay. Yep, so you did with her almost a year, under a year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. And I started with her, just to give you an idea, when I started with her, I was at 198 pounds. Right now, I'm 150.
Wow. And you look so good.
Thank you.
Your conditioning, and your physique looks so good. I told you I'd be following you now.
Thank you. Ooh, just wait till you see him at this show, baby. I'm trying not to show it now. I'm not showing it.
Okay, you just open the envelope, so you're gonna tell everybody the surprise. I said on my intro.
Yeah.
So everybody that's in the viewing audience, this episode is so key and timely because Katrina has been training, and she's actually going to her first show this weekend. So come on, everybody, put some clap emojis in the comments, and let's celebrate Katrina, because now I'm old school, so I'm gonna count on my fingers. So September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. So and 8 is the number for new beginning.
Okay. So very good.
You've been with Coach Banks for 8 months. So let's talk a little bit about your experience with her and some of the highlights. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay, so I have an inside track. I know her, right? She's a friend. So I've watched her develop her business model. So I'm going to say this. Everyone that competes cannot coach. Plain and simple. She's a businesswoman first. So she has her business model down. She not only presents you with a team of professionals that help you to be successful. She has a tanning coach. She has a posing coach. She has a massage therapist there, resources that you could tap into that make you successful, because you're going to need all of this. And she's going to give you the real. Like, I'm talking about no sugarcoat. And so listen, I know she swears. So I didn't mind that. She cussed because that's how she talks, right? She's West
Right.
Coast. She gonna come and bring it to you real. And I
Right.
appreciated that about her because she let you know that guess what? This costs money. No sport is cheap anymore. Not even running, because the equipment that you need in order to run. It is, she said, it's gonna take some money and you need to invest in this. And then she gives you the plan. She gives you the workout plan, she gives you your homework, and she gives you your meal plan. Stick to it. And she holds you accountable. You have to check in every week. And I checked in every Sunday morning at between 5 and 6 a.m. I'm checking in.
Wow.
And she's watching everything, and she's very professional with it. And she's gonna let you know if she needs to tweak something. She would definitely tweak something in your meal plan.
Right, right. Also, I know that in order to enter into this journey, your mindset has to be, I told somebody the other day that once you get your mind set together, your body and everything else will follow.
Yes.
And that comes with understanding the importance of self-care. So let's talk about that, because you touched on it a little bit when we talked to you in 2021. But if you could just talk to the viewing audience about the importance of self-care. We all go through things, right? And a lot of times us as women, we put everybody before us, not understanding that if we're broke, everything connected to us is going to be broke, because we're a lot of times we're the glue that holds it together. So could you just talk to the viewing audience about the importance of self-care and why you felt, right now, because this is huge. People don't understand that. This is huge, and this is a very important decision that you made 8 months ago. And let's talk about the importance of self-care and for Katrina.
Okay, so mental health awareness for me is pivotal. When I came on the show before, I was on a journey, and I had a different counselor. I have had 3 different counselors because I've had 3 different journeys. So when I went to that counselor, it was more so the healing from the divorce, what happened there. And then I had one just for career transition. And so with this journey, I have a totally different. Dr. Lakiba has been instrumental in my journey now, because think about it. I am the glue that keeps my household together. My boys depend on me. And so when it is time for me to shut down and say, hey, this is going to be my day, I take it. I do not feel guilty for it. I get up at 4, I work out. That's my time, and it's designated for me, and my boys understand it. I also had to tap in very heavily on building my spiritual man up, or my spiritual woman up, because it goes hand in hand. Mentally, when you're under attack and you can't focus, I turn to God. I have these car rides that I call the car ride with God. He be in my passenger seat. I have my gospel music on, and I'll talk to him as I'm going to the gym to help me stay focused, Lord. Help me to keep my focus today on these things right here. And I pray to him to help me to get through this day. You have to do that. And if you don't have any type of spirituality, or you don't have any mental counselor in your life, you need to get one. You need to get one. It's important.
Yeah, it is. And thank you for touching on the mental health piece of it, because you're right, it's so important. And I just thank you for just being so transparent. Even before the show, just me knowing you, you've always been like that. You've always been an open book to me. And I just want to say I thank you. I thank you for your friendship. And I thank you just for believing in the things that I've done and speaking into me. So I really do appreciate that, Katrina. Before we introduce Coach Banks, let's talk just a little bit about your goals for the show, your excitement. I know you're excited.
Yes.
Let's talk about a little bit about that.
Okay, so of course everybody wants to win, right?
Yeah.
Win. However, I'm focused on bringing my best package, and my best package is my best body, and to get up on that stage and to show the confidence within me, and to pose like Kim has taught me some amazing things, and her is bionic tanning and bionic posing. That's her businesses that she has, and she has taught me some amazing posing, and I am going to get up there and strut my stuff. I want to have fun. I mean, yeah, I want to win, but when I tell you I'm going to strut on this stage, I get this 47-year-old body on the stage, and I am going to have a good time. I just feel good because I did this. I did it. And I did it in the face of all of the nasty words. Don't get too muscular, or don't do this, or don't lose your this. Man, I did this for me, and I feel great.
Right. Well, I'm going to say this. You were a winner 8 months ago when you said yes to yourself.
Yes.
Because if the viewers don't get anything else from this interview, it's the fact that you said yes to you. This is about Katrina. It's not about anybody else but you. And it's about your self-care and you reaching the goals that you want to reach, right?
Yes.
So it's not easy. And just the fact that you said yes 8 months ago, and then you're saying yes to get on the stage, sweetie, you've already won. And you've already won, because how many people have tried to go down this road, and because they didn't have the discipline, they didn't make it, right? And like you said, I'm glad that you said the way you said, everybody wants to win, but it really isn't totally about winning, because you're going to gain so much knowledge.
Yes.
About the industry, yourself, so, celebrate yourself at the end of this. And I'm just so proud of you. I just can't keep saying it. And like I said, my coach competes too, and she shares with us her journey, and it's not easy. It is not. So kudos to anybody that can go down there. Hey. And you look as muscular and as lean as you want to. You have my permission.
Absolutely. Like, who gonna check me, boo? It's me.
That's right.
So
this is what we're going to do. I'm going to take you off, and I'm going to introduce Coach Banks, because this is excellent, because now we have you and then we have your coach, so we can actually talk to her and meet her and get some information from her and talk about, Fit Junkey, her studio. Okay. Awesome. All right. So I'm going to take you off and put her on. I'm going to introduce Coach Banks, and then I'll bring her in. I'm going to bring you on at the end of the show, so all three of us will be on the screen. So don't leave yet.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. As you can see, I'm operating everything. All right. So let's introduce Coach Banks. Coach Banks is a NPC figure and wellness bikini competitor. She is the owner of Fit Junkey Studio and has experience of preparing athletes for the stage. She believes in the single concept of education, goal setting, and motivation to acquire the results that you've dreamed about getting. Everyone, please help me give a round of applause to and help me welcome Coach Banks. Hey, Coach.
I think I'm on mute.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Hey, how you doing?
Let me put your information on the screen so everybody know. There we go. Where the contact. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yes.
I just finished watching you guys. You guys, that was great.
That was great. Yay. Katrina looks awesome. She looks
Okay, so after her show, I'm going to post her before and afters.
Okay.
Just wait on it.
Yes. So
it's good.
This is the first time you have been on our show. And I want to start off by giving you the opportunity to just introduce yourself to the viewers.
Okay. All right. Well, my name is Genae, Coach FJ, they call me, or Genae. I'm a Cali girl. I'm from California. Yeah. But I've lived here a long time. I've been here quite a long time. Okay. So my son's 23 and we moved here when he was like 2. So that's how long.
You're a peach.
Okay. Yeah. So, but West Side. No. But yes, I actually how did I even start my journey? Like Katrina said, we met running, and that was kind of just one of those things where I started running with a friend, and she worked for Equifax and asked me. Her job sponsored the Susan G race. So we were like, okay, let's go ahead and run a race. And we did the race. That was my first time running since I was like in high school. Okay. And we actually enjoyed it. So, you know, I just had a baby and I'm like, okay, we're like, let's run a race once a month. Okay. So then we started, you know, running around the neighborhood. And my dentist was like, you know, I know a running group. They're called BGR, Black Girls Run. And we were like, oh. So I found one close to our, you know, area. And I started running. And that's actually how I met Katrina. So I've known Katrina probably 15 years now, 10, 12. So we've known each other a long time. So that's how I first met Katrina. But what made me start working out and running was my father actually had diabetes, kidney failure, and dementia.
Oh, wow.
And so I was taking care of him. And at the same time, I found out I had pre-cancer, ovarian pre-cancer, stage 3, which is the stage right before cancer. I've actually have had it 3 times. So, and I've had preeclampsia, which is high blood pressure. And after having my child, I just couldn't get my blood pressure down. So, you know, that's when the doctor's like, you need to do some exercise. So that's another reason why I started running. So, but with my dad, with his bad health and dying, and we found out, they told us he had like 3 months. He ended up living about 8 months, you know, and getting a scare that I might die. I was like, okay, I got to get my life together, you know. But I think seeing him really, you know, made me think, okay, you need to do something because, you know, my kids at the time were like 5 and 8. So, and then I have my 16-year-old. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, what am I going to do if something happens to me? So that kind of put me into check to get my stuff together. But I'm a very active person. So one of the mutual friend, Katrina, I have, she asked us if we wanted to play kickball. So besides running, we started playing kickball. And it just, everything just kind of took off from there. I had a knee injury, had to have surgery. And I needed something else to do because I just can't keep still. So, and I'm like, so I am like a serial entrepreneur. Besides this, they're in my back. Let's just put it this way. Fitness has kept me busy, but I'm also a photographer and a makeup artist.
I saw that when I was researching you. Yes, I saw that you were a photographer.
Yes, I'm a serial entrepreneur. So I haven't done it since COVID. I've really slowed down on that side of things. But I had some friends that were competing and I would go do their makeup. So, and we played kickball with one of them. So I did a few people's makeup and I stayed to watch a show and I was intrigued. And she taught me into it and she's like, you should really do it. You're going to love it. And I'm like, yeah, you know, I don't know. You know, I got this mommy body. So I said, you know what? I'm going to get a coach. And I told myself, just train and then wait and see what your body does. If my body turns out good, we'll do it. If not, at least I tried. Turned out, let's just put it this way. It turned out better than I thought. And I've been doing bodybuilding over 5 years now.
Wow.
So, yeah, I'm addicted, but I have a love-hate relationship with it.
So when did you, I was going to tell you, I was born in Stockton.
Oh, okay, Kelly girl. Hey.
But I'm like you.
San Jose. I'm from Bay Area, San Jose. Yep.
Okay, because my sister used to live in Oakland, and then she finally moved here. But when he retired from the military, he brought the family here, and I've been here since the 3rd grade. So,
oh wow, yeah, you're a Georgia peach. Now you're a true Georgia peach.
I transplanted younger.
Yes, very younger. Yes, I was out of high school by the time I got out here.
So when did you start Fit Junkey Studio? Tell us about.
So once my body started changing, and this is a little bit before I started competing. So this is one thing a lot. this is just for people in general, even that are enthusiasts. A lot of times people, and this happens to my clients a lot as well. They see their transformations and they're like, train me. So I had a client, well, she wasn't my client at the time, but but can you train me? Can you train me? And I'm like, and I wasn't comfortable just training people. So I actually did go to school for it and took classes. And I said, well, I don't feel comfortable training you and I don't know the back end of things. So I went ahead, paid for the classes and got certified. And but so my first few clients, I didn't charge them. They were kind of like my guinea pigs, So, because I don't want to, I don't want to be charging people and I'm still learning the ropes. So that's how I started. And then over time, it just grew and grew. And I started in my basement. I literally started in my basement and in parks. And then I started subleasing from other gyms. And I finally have my own gym. I've owned my gym for about almost 2.5 years.
And where is it located?
It's in downtown Conyers, Georgia.
Okay, now let me ask you. Now, I live in Conyers. So
I'm right on Main Street, girl.
Okay, because you can get to me off Sigmund or West Avenue. So
okay, you're close.
Ice skating rink.
Yeah. Okay, so do you know where the Mexican restaurant is? And then there's like on the corner, and then there not Las Flores, but the other one down where there used to be a pizzeria in that little plaza.
Yes, I know you're talking
about. I'm in there.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I know exactly.
That's me, girl. That's me.
Well, congratulations. I'm going to stop by and say, hey.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's where we're at. So I actually outgrew. I'm still there. We're in the process of moving soon down the street. But I outgrew that gym in about a year. So yes. So and then I just kept asking my landlord, "Do you got something else? Do you got something else?" Right. So finally, he's building something for me.
Okay. So in your bio, I mentioned that you were part of the NPC, and it stands for National Physique Committee.
Yes.
Can you talk about what they do and what the importance of that
is?
So
they're actually one of the biggest bodybuilding federations in the world. Okay. So I don't know if you ever heard of the Olympia and like Arnold Schwarzenegger and all that. It's part of all of that. So there's different branches of it. So there's NPC. And then with NPC, you have to win a pro card. And then then they have someone they work with called IFBB. Okay. Which is the pros. Then you can end up at the Olympia, which is basically like the Olympics of bodybuilding.
Okay. There's a video out there on Netflix about a bodybuilder named Kai. K-A-I.
Kai Green?
Yeah. Yes. And so I watched that one night. And then so some of the acronyms that you're talking about,
yes,
in the video,
Yeah, and I started out in some of most of my clients. I have a couple that are going to be doing NPC as well, but I usually start a lot of my clients out in the smaller federations first. Okay. It's almost like doing junior varsity and going to varsity, or doing the what is that flag football or the turf football and going to the NFL. So it's a big difference. It took me about 3 years to switch over. Okay. So, but if you're new, I don't really I try to let my clients know, look, I don't think this is not for you right now. Mm-hmm. Or especially if they're new, I'll tell them, I said, basically look at it this way. If we were in the same category and would you want to go against me? Okay. The thing is, I've been in the game 5 years. My muscles more mature. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So now I do have a client. She's been with me since day one. And really, that's how I started. I ended up being a coach on an accident. Okay. I'm not be honest. It wasn't like, oh, I want to be a prep coach. Right. One of my clients has been with me since day one. She's been with me almost 5 years now. And I looked at her one day. She's just, one of my lifestyle clients. Mm-hmm. And I said, you look like you can do a show. And she was like, me? I said, yes. I said, it took me about a month to talk her into it. And she finally agreed. And
Okay.
and the funny thing was I was gonna send her to my coach.
Okay.
And I was like, well, I'm gonna send you over to my coach and then he can finish getting you ready. But my Katrina and I both use the same posing coach, which is Kim. And she also is my business partner.
Okay.
So I had her go over there. Kim looked at her and she said, no, 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 no. She's all, she doesn't need to go to him. And I said, why not? She's like, she's ready. She's all, if you send her over there, you're giving her to him with a bow on.
Okay. Got
Well, I was like, what? She's like, congratulations, coach. I was like, what? Coach? So it blew my mind.
Right.
Like, oh my God, wait, did this just happen? You know? So I was like, okay. So I said, okay, Kim. I said, I'll do it. I said, and Kim used to have her own team. So she's been a coach and all that before. So I said, I'm gonna do this. I said, but I need your help. I need you to guide me a little bit.
Okay.
So that's what we did with her. And she's been me at this point. She started off at the smaller shows. And let's see, the last 2 years, year and a half, she now competes with me. So we don't compete in the same category, but we have done the same show. So last year in Tennessee, we were both on the NPC stage together.
Oh wow.
Which was amazing because I'm like, wow. I said, we literally grew together.
Yeah.
And now on the same stage.
Yeah,
so
I do have somebody in the journey with you.
Yes, it's amazing. And then I pulled out old pictures of us when we both started, and then how we've grown so much. It's crazy. Right. So but I always try to let clients know, even prospective clients, because it's NPC is a really big organization. Right. A lot of people just want, almost like how people are like, I want to go to the NFL. You know what I mean? So I have to explain to them, I don't think that's something you want to do right away. Let's start you down here. And then if your body, because, everybody's physiques are different. Everybody's body parts, as in muscle builds different. So, I mean, sometimes some people's genetics are just amazing. Right. And then sometimes you have clients that maybe it takes a little longer for their physiques to come in. And it's my job to figure out where I need to place you.
Right. Correct. Correct.
Right. Because I have clients, I want to do bikini, but your body may not be built for bikini. So that's my job, to educate you and show you other pictures of what the athletes look like. But usually if somebody connects with me, I have them send me pictures. And I'll even with Katrina, when we first started, I said, okay, you look like you're going to be I think we said bodybuilding. Okay. But like I tell all of the ladies, depending how your prep goes, your body may change. Okay. So please do not get stuck on one category. Right. So we did end up changing her. So, but I'm not telling anybody, y'all gonna have to win.
That's right. That's right. and you know what, Coach? I think one good thing, one thing people should do when they're even interested in starting the journey to bodybuilding, they need to watch a competition.
Yes.
The reason why I say that is because my coach is getting ready for a show, and she was in a show in Orlando not too long ago.
Okay.
And they had a live stream, and so her clients were able to watch it, right? And just watching the show, I kind of understood now some of the terminology that she uses, and I was able to watch the different categories. And you're right. They explain, okay, in this category, the judges are looking for A,
and they're looking for certain things on your body.
Yes, and if you watch the show, you can really understand what your coach is trying to tell you when they're preparing you.
Right.
For your show or for your journey, you would really understand, because I was so green. And I ended up watching the majority of that show because I was just intrigued. I was like, this is a lot. And it's a lot.
Yeah. And for my job, I need to know what I'm doing. So I need to, each category, I'll take a look at them, and then I need to decide at least where we're going to start with you to start working on certain body parts to get you right for the show. Now, the thing is, though, like I tell all clients, you need to be coachable, you know. And I've had a few issues with clients, you know, especially I'm how old am I? Look at me, I don't remember my age. I'm 46. So I've had clients that are like 50 and up.
Right.
It is very hard for them to take instruction from me. And so and that's when I tell people, you know, you have to be coachable. It doesn't matter how old you are. And like Katrina says, yes, I cuss. Yes, I do. So, but I mean, I'm not, I'll just say it. I'm not a mean coach, but I don't play no games. Okay. Am I a competitive coach? Yes, I am. Okay. Of course, I don't expect you to win every time, but we're going to try our best to win. You see what I'm saying?
You know what, those things, when I was talking to Katrina, I was saying that when you get on this journey, the number one word is discipline.
Yes.
You have to be disciplined. And if the coach believes in you, the one thing she doesn't want you to do is waste her time, right? Because you're investing so much into that person. You've got to, if number one, have the mindset, invest in yourself. And
yes. And that's the first thing I tell people when they connect with me. I'm like, look, first, I'm fit. Oh, I'm fit. I work out all day long. And I'm like, this is a whole different level, baby. This ain't what you think it is, right? So I'd be like, I need you to get your mind right first. You're gonna have to be mentally prepared for what we about to do over here. This ain't no lifestyle client, and you work out when you feel like it. You're gonna work out when I tell you to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Correct. So that's the first thing I tell people. You need to be mentally ready for this. Okay. Once your mind is right and you really want to do this, then I can do my job to help you. But when you're fighting me and I'm grown and all that, ain't nobody got time for that. Like, I'm here to help you. You know, I'm gonna be honest. I've had a client. She looked great, but she didn't listen. And well, I know it's good for my body. Guess where she placed? Last, because you didn't do what I told you to do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
What Katrina touched on is an investment, right? So
it is an investment. And like I preach to everybody how she was saying, how we have a whole team, massage therapists, coaches, and posing coaches. The thing is, like I tell them, treat your body like you would treat your car. You go take it to get the oil changed, you get it washed, you get maintenance on it. I'm like, the same thing with your body. And the thing is, we are lifting weights. We are hitting weights every day. So your body is going to do this sometime. I can tell when the ladies should do their check-ins. And if they're like this, okay, your alignment's off. Go see the chiropractor.
Yeah.
Say these things. And the thing is, these are things coaches are going to look at while you're up on that stage. And you could have lost points off of your symmetry.
Right.
And your arm and shoulder. So when I tell you to go to the chiropractor, and the thing is, though, I always say it this way, a nice way. If it's in the budget, I need you to go to the chiropractor at least once a week. Once a month if you can.
Right.
Because I don't, I ain't count nobody's pockets, but this sport is not cheap. So when you get in this sport, you got to know there's going to be some things. Money's going to be spent on, especially if you're serious about the sport, and you're really trying to do well in the sport. I do have people that think they want to do it, and then they realize, you don't know how many times I done got, I work out all the time. And then they get in and they, we got a pretty good squad though. We've got about 18 people on the team, one guy and the rest are females.
Okay, and I know the guy, I saw the picture.
Yes.
I know him.
He's trying to hang with the ladies, okay?
No, but he's a therapist.
Yes, he is.
A therapist.
He came. The funny story. So I didn't tease them because, we hitting the weights. And so he goes, I need the 50 pound. So he goes to get the 50 pound. I said, you think these ladies can't hit that 50? So all the ladies, he didn't add 50, so all the ladies hitting the 52. He looking like, I'm like, oh yeah, baby, we don't play over here.
Lamar. Yeah, we're talking about you, Lamar.
I be riding Lamar every morning. I said, Lamar, you doing it wrong. Lamar, what do he got a lecture this morning.
Oh, really?
I said, Lamar, I said, whatever you gonna put into it here, I said, that's what type of body you're gonna have.
Right.
I said, so if you only give me 50%, you're gonna have a 50% body.
Right.
And I said, and if I see you're giving me 50, this is literally a conversation this morning. I was like, if I see what you're giving me here and you have assignments I give you outside of me,
right.
You probably is giving me 25 outside of me if you only giving me 50 here.
Right.
When I tell you I'm 100% the most honest person there is, you just gonna get it. I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
I'm just let me tell you. I don't sugarcoat nothing.
My coach is just like that. So I'm laughing because she's the exact same way.
Yeah. I feel like this. Ain't no reason to beat around the bush about none of this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just tell her how it is. Either you're gonna be okay to what you're not. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you how it is, you know.
Right.
I tell them in the end, don't take nothing personal.
Right.
It's not personal. I'm just gonna say it, with no Vaseline. So ain't no time for sugarcoat.
So listen, before we end, we're gonna bring Katrina back in, but I want you to talk about Fit Junkey Studio and talk about some of the services that you offer, because we're talking about bodybuilding.
Okay.
You have other services. So I
yes.
want to scare anybody from
okay, y'all. So besides bodybuilding, I am a lifestyle coach as well. So not all of my clients want to compete. Now, have I talked them into it? Yes. I have talked some of my clients into competing. I have done it. Okay. And they've done well. I actually tried to talk somebody into it yesterday. And no. So I may get her though eventually. Okay. So I do have lifestyle clients. So some come to me 2 days a week, 3 days a week, 4 days a week. Some come on the weekends, 5 days a week. So it all depends on what you're looking for. I do have morning classes, I don't really do more classes, y'all. Okay. I do small group training, but actually I am going to start doing a small group boot camp type of class at 6 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, especially for the summertime. So I do offer that. I do write meal plans. I will be honest though, I do not write them for non-clients. Okay. Gotcha. You need to be a client. I do write, if you have something going on, health, diabetes, anything like that, I can write by blood. I do write, some of my even athletes do have meal plans by blood. Okay. So I do, I write 2 different type of meal plan. Well, 3. Blood type. Then I have the type that you do have the clients that just cannot keep eat. Because, as athletes, we eat a lot of the same stuff over and over and over. Yeah. So with lifestyle clients, they have an option if they don't want that type of, some people are like, oh, I'm fine with that. I can eat the same thing all the time. Okay, cool. But if you're not that person, I can write you up a meal plan that gives you more of a list of things, what you can eat, what you should absolutely stay away from. I give you your measurements of everything and lots of different items so you can switch it up. Okay. So, and then, some people are like, well, which one you think I should do? I don't know. I don't know you, lady.
Now, do you offer anything virtual or is everything in
I do. So okay. So I do virtual. I do have clients that train at home. So in the morning, Monday through Friday, I come in and I will do a workout for them to do at home. So usually you'll need like dumbbells, kettlebells, light things, booty bands, things like that. But it's always a good workout. No matter what it is, but it's things you can do at home because some people just don't like going to the gym.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, if you are one of those person that just need more of guidance, they want to go to the gym and they just want a guide, I will record videos for you so you know exactly what to do at the gym and how many to do. Now, live, like me doing this, okay, now give me 5 more. I absolutely cannot stand that type of training. I have self-diagnosed myself with ADD,
Okay.
and I
Self-diagnosed.
don't like it. It's boring to me. So I've done it, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna charge you more because I don't like it. Okay. But I have charged people more, but I told them I can do it, but I don't like doing it.
Right.
But if you really want it, it's gonna be this much.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
But most people are okay with, because I actually will do the video and show them exactly what to do with the machine. So then they're not going in there and they're lost. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah. That
Yes.
makes sense, because a lot of
Yeah.
times you go to the gym and either, I've had this happen. People would either not show me correctly or don't want to be bothered at all. Right.
Right.
So it's good that they can take it with them and they can say, okay, I can see what I'm supposed to
Right.
do.
You see exactly how you're supposed to do it, and you're not looking at the machine like, what is this?
Right.
How do I use it? So then you ain't looking, because a lot of people get embarrassed because they don't want to go in there and look like they don't know what they're doing. If you got the videos, you know exactly what you're doing. They don't know,
That's correct.
So I also have a apparel line. Okay, I absolutely love fashion, but I'm always in gym clothes. So hey, why not design my own apparel, right?
Right.
So I sell apparel, booty bands, sports bras, hoodies, crops, all that.
Is that the Fit Junkey apparel is going across? Is that
Fit Junkey? Yes, Fit Junkey apparel. Okay, you can find everything on my website as well as my pricing. I'm one of those type of people. Let's not waste each other's time. Okay. You can find pricing for competition prep on there as well as training. Okay. And I always prefer people to go online, look at everything first, and then reach me through the contact page, and then we can have conversation if you want me to call you, or if you want to come in for a drop-in and, kind of see my style of training. We do use weights almost basically every day. We do just a sample. A lot of people ask me what exactly we do. For example, Mondays we hit lower, Tuesdays we hit upper, Wednesdays we do hit. So today was a hit day, and then Thursday we'll hit lower again. And then right now, because it's showtime, I've been having the team come in and practice their posing.
Okay.
And then that kind of gets them comfortable doing it in front of other people, because they can get nervous in front of their own teammates.
Right.
So, and then Saturday and Sunday, I have other clients that come in for training as well. So we always, when people say, well, I just want better arms. No. We're going to hit everything. Okay. We don't. Yeah. Why? So what I think asked me, I said, well, what about your legs? What about your core? What you mean, y'all? Don't we want to be fine head to toe, baby?
You're going to be unbalanced.
Yeah.
So they're going to blame it on you. I'm jacked up because of Coach Banks.
Yeah. And the misconception everybody thinks, you guys, I've had people, well, I don't want too much muscle. I want to look like a man. Okay. And what I tell people, I say, look, you can't get like that on purpose. Okay. Right. You ain't getting like that on purpose. Or, well, I want to look like you, girl. And you can't. Not with that attitude. You get what I'm saying? So don't you do realize I got like this on purpose, and it took me years.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So y'all, lifting weights is not going to turn you manly. Okay. So get that misconception out of your heads. Okay. But if you want we can build you to just have a nice, tight, tone looking body. You don't have to have as much muscle as me. I compete at a very top of the level federation. So yes, I'm going to have more muscle, but I did this to myself on purpose. Okay.
Right. And let me ask you this. So you have your pro card, correct?
Okay. So I do have a pro card. It's with Natural Muscle Association, which is one of the smaller associations. But once you go to the NFL, baby, it's some work getting that pro card. Okay. So I am, as we call it, I'm chasing the pro card right now.
Okay. I actually switched. I know a little bit about the pro card.
Yeah, and I actually, so last 4 years I was doing figure, and every season your body usually changes. This is for any athlete. Your body changes. Because a lot of people will be like, well, I wanna compete. cause I want to look like stage, how they do on a stage. The thing is, we don't stay like that. And I don't think people
Right.
understand that. We don't walk around like this every day. After our shows, we gain weight and we start training again for whatever, next year or whenever our show
Okay.
is. But you need to put on some weight to actually build your muscle. So
Oh, okay.
it's not actually healthy to stay stage ready.
Right.
So, and we're only like that for like 2 days.
Oh,
Like,
wow.
you know how we talked about peak week earlier, how
Mm-hmm.
so you guys, Katrina's in peak week. So right now we're pulling carbs and pulling water. We're depleting her, but I'll load her back up right before her show. Do you think I could keep her like that? Absolutely
Right.
not.
Yeah. Really is unhealthy. So
Right.
right.
So I gain weight. Right now I have some weight on me. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So until I'm ready for my show. So right now you just train until it's time to start dwindling on down and leaning out.
Right.
So y'all just remember that is not the perception of these people you see on the stage. Do not walk around looking like that every single day.
Right. And again, they need to watch. Like I said, I stumbled upon Kai,
Yeah.
and that was a very good documentary because
You know what? I started watching that yesterday. You're talking about the yes.
it was good. I'm gonna bring Katrina in. Hold on,
Okay.
Katrina, I'm gonna bring you back in. Let's see. Come on, add you to the stream. Okay, wait a minute. Let me take off this banner so we can see each other. There we go.
There we
Yeah.
go.
So people need to watch it. I think that there's a lot that goes on. Like
Yes.
when people see the physique and people not performing, but competing, right? There's a
Yes.
lot that goes into it. So people need to do their research. And I just for me, one good way to do it is to watch some of those documentaries because it's a lot of work that goes into it, right? Before we get up, I want you to talk about OCB. There's someone that is watching the show. Hey, Melody. When we mentioned the different acronyms for the different shows, she's saying that she is prepping herself for OCB. So can
Okay.
you talk just a little bit about, just so the viewers can understand what she's saying? What is
Okay.
OCB?
So there's there's actually a very lot of different federations up there. So there's OCB. OCB is actually a really popular one. They're pretty big. Um, as the smaller federations under NPC, because NPC is probably number one.
Okay.
OCB, I would say, is pretty up there in in the Natural Bodybuilding Federation.
Okay.
But then they have USBF, NWA, NMA, I think it's ANT. There's so many of them out there.
Okay.
Some of SMBF, some of them are well known than others. Like
Okay.
OCB is a pretty popular one.
Right. Yeah, because I looked that one up. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's almost like a different federations, and then some of them work with each other. So let's say you win your pro card with USBF, you'll be able to use your pro card with some of the other federations and say so. And usually when you win your pro card, that's when you start winning money, when you're start doing shows as a pro. Now there are certain federations you can only use the pro card in that federation.
Okay.
So I believe, if I'm correct, I believe though I've never done LCB, but I think they're like that. I think you can only do it in OCB.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, ladies, I have enjoyed talking to you all. Katrina, we'll let you go first, and then we'll let Coach Ian. Is there any last minute tips? Anything you want to give talk to the viewers about, or let them know? Again, when are you? I know that your first show is coming up this weekend, and it's in North Carolina.
Yes.
It's in North Carolina. But if there's any words of advice, encouragement you want to give them?
So I would say set a goal, right? So set a goal and know your reason why, right? Know your reason why, and close your ears to all of the negativity, and even some people who are off the unsolicited advice. That's what I'm saying, the unsolicited advice. Once you have your goal and you already research and you have your coach, shut off the unsolicited advice, because there's going to be a lot of people who, oh, I can help you with that, or oh, you need to work on this. Shut them off and say no, thank you. And if they are persistent, you keep it moving. You have your goal, you have your research already done, and you have your coach. Stick to your plan, because that's your plan and that's customized for you. And to remain consistent and understand that you're going to have peaks, valleys, and highs. You're not going to always, like, I came in here, I was like, yeah. But then there's some days like today I'm down. I'm like, well, I'm tired. Pick yourself right back on up and keep to it. Yeah. Persistence, and remain motivated to achieving your goal.
All right, Coach Banks.
All right, few things, y'all. First, I got to shout out our show. Okay, so y'all, so we did talk about you should go check out a show. We do have a show out here. I sent the flyer to True Blues, so she'll post it for you guys. May 20th in Athens. We my business partner and I throw our own bodybuilding show called Clash of the Veterans. Katrina actually will be doing that one, so if anybody wants to come and support, it's May 20th. It starts at 10 a.m. Okay, 10. I think it's 10 to 2. 10 to 2. You guys are all welcome. We will put out a link for you. You guys, we have bodybuilding, bikini, figure. We even have a category for transformation. So let's just say you don't want to particularly do a bodybuilding show and throw in the bikini. We also have, for those that are interested, that want to transform their bodies. Mm-hmm. You can also do that. I have a client right now that will be doing transformation, and she's wearing a biker short and a sports bra. So if you are not comfortable yet, and you could be any body type, and what we do is we put a projector up. We're going to show you before, after, tell some of your story, and you're going to come out and show us that transformation.
That is nice.
Yes.
That is
so nice. That's some of the things. As in advice as a coach, I would say this. Definitely do your research. This sport is expensive, guys. Okay. There are some ways to cut some things. Excuse me. Obviously, when you're at the level where I am, it gets even more expensive. I have to travel. So my show is out of state. Mm-hmm. So I have to fly. So make sure you are able to afford a posing coach. There's a lot of people that, I'm just going to learn on YouTube. Trust and believe. When you get on that stage, we know you use YouTube. Okay? So get you a posing coach. You're going to need the heels. You're going to need a suit, okay?
And those are expensive.
These suits aren't $50, nope. Okay? They're $200 and up. My suit is usually $550, you guys, $550, and I own quite a few. I own probably 10 suits, okay? Yeah.
Wow.
Because when you start, you don't always want to wear the same suit now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I own quite a few. Your coach, you got to pay your coach. You got a meal plan. You got to buy your food. You got to buy your supplements. So if your coach says you need to take vitamins, creatine, or whatever, you got to get that. And here's the thing. Your coach you might have went grocery shopping 2 days ago, and your coach may change your meal plan a day later. Now, I try to work with them and say, hey, I'm going to change your meal plan Sunday. So at least they get heads up. Don't go buy no groceries. So, but I've had coaches, they don't care. Okay. I might have went and grocery shopping this morning. I got a new plan the same day.
Right.
$100 on fish. Okay. Guess who has to go buy some more food and stick the other stuff in the freezer?
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Okay. Do your research on your coach. You want to see. This is even for lifestyle training. If you just need a coach, look and see what they've done with other people. There are some people that have lost a lot of weight themselves as a trainer, and all they do is post the pictures of themselves. We know you can lose some weight, but what can you do with other people, baby? You get what I'm saying? So make sure This coach has some proof of other clients they have
Right.
done. Ask them questions, okay? See what they know. And it doesn't necessarily just because, and remember this, yes, I look amazing, okay, as a coach, okay, but that's because I feel like I'm a walking billboard. So I feel like I should look the part. But there's some coaches that look amazing and don't know what they're doing, okay? You also need to remember that just because someone looks good doesn't mean they're a good coach.
Right.
They may only know how to do their body.
Right.
Okay. So remember that. Other than that, though, one last thing. A lot of people always ask me, I don't know how to start.
Okay.
I get that actually a lot. Y'all, it's not about how you have to start. Just start. That means if that means walking down the street for 20 minutes a day to get you started, walking, doing jumping jacks, dancing around your house for 30 minutes. The thing is, you got to stop using the excuses of, I don't know how to start. You just got to start.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So that means put on some shoes and go walk for 30 minutes. That's it. On your lunch break. I ain't got no time. You better make some time. You know what I'm saying?
Self-care. Yeah.
Nobody want to hear these excuses. I ain't got. One of my clients posted today about people are like, well, how do you make time? Like she said, just like you make time to go to the club, you make time to go shopping, you make time to hang out, you make time for what you want to do it. And like I tell people, for me, I've been doing it so long now, it's like brushing my teeth.
Right.
Okay. Right. So it doesn't even though I know I need rest time and days, it doesn't feel right if I don't do, because now it's just part of my life.
Right. Right.
So just like I brush my teeth, I need to go put my gym. I put out another thing is put your clothes out at night. Put your gym clothes. If you got to work and you're not going after work, take your gym clothes, get them ready for the night, just like it's the first day of school. Okay.
Right.
Put them out. Right. Me, I lay my stuff out. And I'm like, ooh, I'm about to kill him in this outfit tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? That's me. Okay. If anybody that knows me know I'm gonna put something on at the gym. Okay, she gonna be cute.
You're gonna be looking fly,
girl, every day. Okay, so here's the thing though. I feel like this. You look how you feel.
Yeah.
So if you look fabulous, you're gonna feel fabulous. But if you always looking frumpy and blah, you're gonna probably feel like that too.
Yeah.
So put some pep in your step, baby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Oh, one more thing. I was asking you, the one on the 20th, I'm going to send out the information.
It's at the Morton Theater. It's by the UGA.
It was in Athens. Okay.
In Athens at the Morton Theater, right by the college. Okay. You guys, it's gonna be an amazing show. We've been planning it all year since last May. The last show sold out. Okay.
Oh, wow.
We and of course we want to make this show even better than last year.
Right.
So we have some surprises in store for y'all. We're gonna have some fun. Oh, and y'all can tell I'm a character already. So my partner I will be hosting the show. So we're gonna have a good time. Okay.
Yeah. So she's gonna send me the flyer. I'm gonna make sure that it gets on our Facebook page and on our Instagram and on our Instagram. So I'll make sure that I help you put it. But thank you all so much, Katrina. We are rooting you on, girl.
Yes, let's go.
So we'll have to have you back on so you can talk about your experience, doing your first show.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so that'll be fun. So yeah, you're in our prayers, and we are rooting for you. And
we're going for that pro card, baby. Let's go.
Right. Yes. Coach Banks, it was a joy meeting you, and I thank you so much for being on tonight's show. You are welcome back anytime.
Thank you. I
can do for you. You let me go.
Well,
let me know.
I hope to see you at the show.
Yeah, May 20th is graduation season. So May 20th, I'm going to be out of town. I
got boo. Okay. Well, trustably, we'll film it so you'll get to see it.
Okay. Hey, I want to see it. I want to see it. So listen, you two hang on. I'm going to end the show. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I hope this interview left you motivated and inspired. It has for me to just keep moving. And like she said, I'm so glad that she said it, because I've had 4 conversations within the last 2 weeks about how to get started. So I'm so glad you ended with that. The key to getting started, as Coach Banks said, is to get started, right? No excuses. Put on your shoes, lace them up, and get to moving.
Get going. Yeah.
Get going. So remember now, you got orders, marching orders from Coach Banks. So this is Tina Dawson with True Blue Designs. We are, I just want to also remind everybody, we have bi-monthly or bi-weekly shows. Because, in the beginning, we did every week. So now we have bi-weekly. So we will see you in 2 weeks, same time, same place. Good night, everybody.
Bye.